Your Majesties, the Kabiyesi of Oniru Kingdom and the Kabiyesi of Elegbesi Kingdom and their representatives. I commend very highly also the Mr. Bolaji, whose infrastructure was actually the infrastructure I can say is one of the two infrastructure that we can call valid infrastructure that were demolished. I'm sure you would have watched his speech of patriotism on social media. I don't know if he's around. And all those who have stood with us in putting the narratives properly. Recall I was here about 14 days back, and at the time I came, the notice for demolition in line with the laws of the land was elapsed in 2 days, and I extended it by 7 days. And we promised that as soon as we enumerate, we will start paying. A lot of people doubted that we will not pay. And we say this is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Yes, it's a man that says something and he does it. And so that's why we are here. Let me commend very highly all the Ministry of Work staff that are on this coastal route, especially the Director of Design and Bridges, Engineer Bide, and the Controller of Lagos State, and Engineer Musa too. They have really done very well. And all the people working with Engineer Kesha, from our Lagos office, I want to commend you very, very highly, and to say that Ministry of Work is very much exceptional. We are not counting the hours we are putting in this work. And I continue to say that you can't continue to do things you've been doing in the past, 50 years. You do it over and over and over, and you expect a different result. And that's why we've initiated a lot of policies that are being implemented, especially by my PAM secretary, our directors and controllers. And we put several hours in addition to the working hours. And we are witnessing results, which means that anybody that says that's how we have been doing it is living in the past. We have to do it differently. And I believe strongly that that's what Mr. President is doing, taking hard decisions. And then we are seeing results. And so I want to thank you people very highly. And I thank my PAM secretary who is driving this reform. We bring the reform in line with the policies of Mr. President, and the PAM secretary has never failed to implement them, the directors and all the workers. I think in the next few days we'll be having training for all our controllers and the regional directors, and this will further deepen our commitment to make the desired change and rekindle the hope Mr. President promised us. On the occasion of celebration of Workers' Day, is quite very unique to congratulate the number one worker, Mr. President, for all the innovations he has brought to bear in our country. The job is very easy if you are not the one doing it. And I use the popular, adage that I quoted here the last time I was here, that if you want to make an omelette, you have to break an egg. You cannot be kissing and be vomiting at the same time. And that's what our administration is doing. Hard decisions like, a woman that is at the point of delivery, the pain is highest, but the joy of the birth, the appearance of the child outweighs the pains. And I commend him very highly, Mr. President. Those who are darkening counsel without knowledge are the people that never believed that it can turn around the economy that he inherited. Mr. President inherited very serious economy in shock. And one thing he said, look, we agreed to do this work, we have to do the work. You don't see him complaining. You see him taking hard decisions. Mr. President, I congratulate you as our #1 worker, as a man that is putting selfless services and showing us the way. Yes. We promise to follow. And I congratulate Nigerian workers. The ideals that the founding workers fought for, we are totally not there. It's not a fight against government. It's not a fight against private sector. It's to fight everything that impedes the advancement of workers. And when workers are advanced, the economy will advance. And it brings to bear the needed patriotism that we all need to showcase at this very trying moment of our nation development. We need patriotism, we need commitment, we need extra working hours. And I in particular thank all the workers of Ministry of Works for the innovation and policies that are bringing to bear that is serving us, multi-billions for the nation. I say kudos to my PAM secretary. I say kudos to my directors, controllers, and every staff of Ministry of Works. We are operating the renewed hope agenda, revolution in infrastructure development. The Director of Bridge Designs has shown the new agreed design routes. A lot of people have been sending messages as it concerns them. Oh, go to the gazetted route. Oh, go to this, go to that. Everybody, it's like in a football match, praying to one God. This team, Father, let us win. Another team, Father, let us win. It's all according to the heart desire of everybody that is involved. And Mr. President says that this development must have two factors. One is the fear of God. The second one is human face. And that's what we have tried to do. Since we came on Thursday, we have been going through the routes every day from morning to sometimes 8 p.m., 9 p.m. And we've taken hard decisions. In some cases, we have followed the gazetted route. In other cases, we have realigned to the coastal line majorly. And coastal line from the shore 250 meters by the Supreme Court judgment belongs to the federal government. I talk in particular landmark. I don't know if they're here. And come to think of it, there is none of his infrastructure that is affected. I agree that there are some people he subletted the place to, but the shoreline was never given to him by the Oniru's family. And so these people he subletted erected some, I won't call it shanties, but caravans, makeshift, so on and so forth, within the shoreline. And if you go to the shoreline, you will see a demarcation of what was given to him, and you will see a different color of the sand there, different color of the sand. And you see by reason of the some filling, the point that the sand is different color. And so we are dealing with these people that is subletted, this shoreline illegally. And I've asked him to bring his documents. And I challenge him and his co-politicians to bring the documents. Let him flash the documents before the press. And so the person we should be talking about is, Mr. Bolaji. I don't know the name of his, that's the man that should be talking about that his infrastructure is taken. And that is at, kilometer 1 plus 400. And this man came to say, look, I was once a local government chairman. I was once PA to the then governor who dreamt of this coastal route. And I've listened to the commendation by some of the southern governors, especially the Niger Delta, who supported Mr. President when he was governor on the need for this coastal route, like His Excellency Donald Duke, like the former governor of Delta State. They all send messages of appreciation. And so I just believe that my brother Landmark is simply playing politics with, politicians. Because there is nothing to claim. It brings me to some of the comments made by my brother, His Excellency P2B. I'm not supposed to comment about it because some people have already done the work, and I saw what Arise brought, the say courtesy channel, and they were bringing, similar scenario when His Excellency P2B was governor, and he made a statement. He said, any infrastructure that stands on the way of road construction must go, and there will be no compensation paid, quote and unquote. That's what he said. But look at me, by the human face of Renewed Hope Agenda Administration, we are even paying for people that are illegally staying on the coastline and do not even have, valid infrastructure and valid documents. That is messy. That is messy. Some people darken counsel without knowledge. There is devil in details. When you bring judgment, when you condemn people, you bring judgment upon yourself. And that's what he has done. And I think he's inciting some of the Southeast people that are not well informed. He's inciting them, and he gets them into trouble, and he doesn't go to fight for them. Wisdom is a defense. We know money is a defense. But wisdom gives life to those that practice it. And I want our people to have wisdom because I'm involved. And there is no humanity method to Landmark. That matter should be buried because I was there. And so we fought everything possible. Even people donated their right of occupancy to save his two big infrastructure. And that should show, appreciation. But some people have taken on it alongside with him to play politics. Some people are already very bitter. Why should it be President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that is the one to develop this coastal route? It will be a lasting legacy for generations to come. That is just their own distance. So they look for an avenue to attack. But it's all about darkening counsel without knowledge. And I'm very happy that the president has directed me to begin the design of one of the, spurs linking to this coastal route. And that is the Sokoto to Badagry. That was conceived by the President Shagari administration. It's going to connect the ongoing route, Lagos-Badagry route, that is being done by federal government and state government. There is also another route, which is the Enugu-Abakaliki-Ogoja-Cameroon African Trans-Sahara route. The coastal road is also going to connect it. And we are also presenting the construction. The Sokoto-Badagry is 1,000 kilometers. That of, from the spur of the Trans-Sahara trade route down to Apo in Abuja is 461 kilometers. It means that anyone that is traveling from Sokoto to Lagos will do it in about 10 hours. And traveling from southeast to Abuja, we do it in a maximum of 5 hours. These are the benefits of the coastal road. That notwithstanding, we talk about an economy that needs foreign investment. These roads are going to be constructed with concrete pavement and it's EPC plus F, which means that there is foreign investment that will come in. This foreign investment will strengthen the Naira. It will stabilize the Naira. I made mention that the Lagos state government is building the deep sea port, very commendable, as dreamed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he was governor. He had master plan of Lagos and is being judiciously followed. And many ships that we are paying for transloading right now from Togo, from the way the sea has good depth, we're going to be saving the money because this coastal road is going to be an evacuation corridor for that deep sea port. So no more transloading. They go straight to the deep sea port and offload it. And so you can have your goods. If you are going to northern part of Nigeria, you just come straight to Badagry and then now to Sokoto. And this Sokoto is cutting across Kebbi, Niger, Kwara, and so on and so forth. That of the southeast is cutting across Benue, Kogi, Nasarawa, and the Enugu-Ogoja road. These are tough decisions, and these are for economic revolution. So quote me anyway that the shoreline was never given to landmark, and we've taken back our shoreline. We are passing the road. And in the language of His Excellency P2B, any shanties that stands, his own is infrastructure, but my own is shanty, because I try to avoid infrastructure. Any shanty that stands on the way of this coastal road and other roads must give way. And to show sympathy for our people who voted for Mr. President, we will do everything possible to pay a human face compensation. I'm aware of the projects that P2B listed as projects that will be given attention, and that's why I say when you darken council, it's because you have no knowledge. Mr. President inherited 2,600 projects, totaling about 14.5 trillion as at that time. And none of the project has stopped. It has never happened in the history of the country where a president comes on board and takes on all the ongoing projects and put them as priority one. And so this coastal route is not prioritized over the ongoing projects. And it should take a tour of the projects and see that even some that were dead are alive. And we are doing a better concrete pavement, not the type of, the width of a matchbox that was done in Anambra State when he was a governor. No, and it's been washed off. So we are doing the proper thing. And you see, opposition is not all about, seeing fault, whether you're right or wrong. When somebody has done something good, you can still criticize while commending the person. And so I asked him to commend Mr. President for this coastal road. And I joined those who have taken on him to ask him to apologize publicly, because this coastal road is the good for all of us. We have the routes as here. And let me emphasize, for the sake of saving infrastructure, up to kilometer, is it 6? We reduce the right of way from 100. We reduce it to 50. And when we got to kilometer 4, we have a number of churches. Kilometer 3, we had a number of churches. We have a number of high-rise buildings. And we decided to save all the infrastructure. I don't know if you can put it on. And we had to split the roads, the carriageway, into 2. Look at it. We split it into 2. So one of the carriageway, this is going, the right one is the Calabar bound, and the upper one is the Lagos bound. Yes. So all the infrastructure within that locations are all saved. And the infrastructure that would have, at the upper section, if we took 2 of them there, they're also all saved. And you can see where we did a marriage back. These are all the efforts we are making, not because those infrastructure have the right of ways or they have proper titles, but government is for the good of the people. And that's what we have done. And so we commend very highly High Tech for their patience, because they stopped work. Any other contractor that stops work, they will start writing us to start paying for, because all the equipments are there. They couldn't continue. We've done 1.2 kilometer. And this was done within 30 days. And they stopped. And so I had to come down so that we can continue. And I'm very sure that within the next 7 days, when the complete demolition would have taken place, the concrete work will go ahead. But they had to go to kilometer 47. I was there also at the deep sea port, and they started walking backwards. But that is some feeling. But the real thing was stopped. And we don't desire that. If you check how much that is the day pay for the machines, for the equipment, you know that they have good heart. And any other company that we even do this redesigning, which is going to cost them a little bit more, but I've told them I'm not paying. It will be tug of war. But we've agreed. It's time to make sacrifices. And beyond this project, I ask, contractors to make sacrifices. To make sacrifices. I'm not ashamed nor afraid to compare this coastal road with other similar projects that are ongoing. I have the bypass road that is going on East-West Road in Akwa Ibom, done by Jito Company. We just looked at the project, and the project is 5.2 billion per kilometer, because I had to change it to concrete. We look at the Bono Boni. The last review is 6.22 billion per kilometer on its flexible pavement, not on concrete. And this project is 4 billion per kilometer. And nobody has come up to, counter it so that we can do mathematical analysis. And so I beat my chest and say, with the fear of God, we've done the right thing for the country. And yet, these other projects we are talking about, Nembe Bridge is 5.2 billion per kilometer. They don't have the number of bridges and flyovers that we have. And so we've done very well. We've been very transparent in the execution of this project. And so this morning we're going to be signing the agreed route. If we don't sign it, the enumerators, we have broken the job into 4 sections. It is the duty of the contractor to bring enumerators to enumerate. The controller will bring the enumerators, the contractor will pay. That's the contract. And so they are going to bring 4 enumerators so that within the next 7 days, professionals, they will be able to round up the enumeration from kilometer 3 to kilometer 47.47. And we will come back and do another stakeholders meeting. So today we are paying over 2 billion compensation just from Channel 0 to Channel 3. What we are paying. And so I will invite, where are the stamps? I will invite the Controller Lagos to stamp and sign, the Director Design stamp and sign, and with this, the contractor can now go ahead confidently within the right of ways, and we also give a copy to the enumerators to go ahead. Like I said, we have rerouted a number of places. Assigned the route technically today, the first day of May 2024, and I assure Nigerians that this route is for the best interest of Nigeria, and it will have along the corridor a lot of land for tourism we are talking about, for estate development, for industries. And I assure Nigerians that so far, if there will be any activity that is lost, they will have opportunities between kilometer 0 to kilometer 700. And so I bless Mr. President, I bless our country, and it's my pleasure to unveil the new design route to the glory of God. And I wish to flag off the compensation from Channel 0 to Channel 3 in a total sum of 2.75 billion. That is very, very ambitious. Very ambitious. And it's my pleasure to invite the Director Design and the Controller to call the people and give them the symbolic amount agreed, and to assure that before 1 p.m. tomorrow, you will all get your alert as agreed.